Spirituality has nothing to do with religion. Religion is something you learn after birth. But spirituality is within you before you even took your first breath. Before your name was spoken, before your parents held you, before any language ever touched your ears, there was something already alive within you. A presence, a spark, a knowing. That is spirituality. It is not something you're taught. It is something you remember. It's in the rhythm of your heartbeat and the silence between your thoughts. It's the reason a baby can smile at the wind or cry at a sudden vibration. The soul remembers what the mind forgets. Religion is given to you by the world. It comes with rules, titles, traditions, and holy books. It's shaped by history, by culture, by interpretations and institutions. It tells you how to connect to the divine externally, through systems, rituals, and teachings. And for some, it brings structure, belonging, and a sense of purpose. But let it be known, religion is the path, not the destination. Spirituality is different. It doesn't ask for permission. It doesn't wait for validation. It is the silent voice that guided you before you knew right from wrong. It is the infinite light you carry that no sermon could ever fully describe. It is the breath behind your breath. The reason you survived that dark night. The reason your soul whispered, "Keep going." You can be spiritual without religion, and you can be religious without ever touching true spirituality. That's why some of the most judgmental people wear holy robes, and some of the kindest, most awakened souls have never stepped into a temple or mosque. Spirituality is not about how you look or what you say. It's about your energy, your vibration, your connection to the unseen. Spirituality is what brings you back to yourself. It reminds you that you are not just flesh and bone. You are a frequency, a field, a divine expression of consciousness walking in human form. It reminds you that God, the universe, the source, whatever you call it, is not somewhere far away. It is within. You came to this earth with power. You came here glowing. You came here chosen. And no label can define your light. Not a title, not a system, not even a doctrine. Because you are the temple. You are the altar. You are the prayer and the miracle. So remember this truth. You are not here to be imprisoned by belief. You are here to awaken, to rise, to remember who you were before the world told you who to be. Religion is learned. Spirituality is lived. Religion tells you who God is. Spirituality reminds you that God is already within you. Spirituality is not defined by the language you speak, the culture you embrace, or the place where you were born. It transcends borders, religions, and traditions. It is the quiet calling when you stand by the ocean, feeling the vastness of existence, knowing that you are part of something greater. It is the heartbeat you feel when you're alone, reminding you that you are alive and that life itself is sacred. Think of the sages, the mystics, and the prophets. They walked different paths, spoke different words, but all pointed to the same truth. The kingdom of heaven is within. The divine is not confined to buildings or books. It is the energy that flows through all life, the breath that moves through all creation. It is the quiet strength that keeps you moving when everything around you feels like chaos. In moments of doubt, remember that your spirit existed long before any doctrine tried to define it. You are an ancient soul, carrying wisdom from countless lifetimes. You don't need permission to feel connected to the divine. You don't need approval to know that your spirit is eternal, powerful, and pure. Take a moment, wherever you are, to breathe, to feel your own presence, to recognize that the most sacred place is not outside but within. Close your eyes and you will find that your spirit is a universe in itself, filled with light, love, and ancient knowledge. Don't let anyone convince you that your connection to the divine must be earned. You were born with it. You are deserving of grace, love, and peace simply because you exist. Embrace this truth. Let it guide you. And remember, you are not just living life, you are life itself. And when the world around you becomes too loud, too heavy, too confusing, remember that spirituality is not about escaping reality. It's about transcending it. It's about realizing that within every challenge lies an opportunity to rise, to evolve, to learn the language of your own soul. When you listen to that inner voice, you are connecting to something far older, far wiser, far more profound than any human construct. Your spirit doesn't fit in a box. It's wild, expansive, fearless. It's the part of you that dreams beyond limitations, that loves without condition, that believes in the impossible. And no matter how much the world tries to cage it with rules, judgments, or expectations, your spirit will always find a way to break free. Never apologize for your depth, your passion, your fire. Never shrink yourself to make others comfortable. Your spiritual journey is sacred, and no one else can walk it for you. Embrace your uniqueness. Honor your intuition. Follow the path that calls to your soul, not the one that others expect you to take. And know this: you are never alone on this path. There are others scattered across this world who feel the same pull, the same desire to know, to heal, to awaken. Your light will draw them to you. Together you will rise, you will learn, you will remember. Because spirituality is not a destination. It's a journey. A beautiful, wild, unpredictable journey of coming home to yourself. Religion, in contrast, is often concerned with the external quest for truth. It's structured, hierarchical, and dependent on collective belief systems. While it can offer community and purpose, it can also become rigid, resistant to change, and prone to division. Philosophy, however, encourages contemplation, questioning, and the pursuit of inner knowledge. It does not settle for surface truths or accept dogmas without scrutiny. Spirituality, therefore, aligns more with the philosophical quest for wisdom, the ongoing search for the essence of existence. In Taoism, spirituality is the Tao, the way. It's not a set of rules, but an unfolding path of harmony with nature and the universe. Laozi teaches that spiritual wisdom is not found in words, but in silence, in the empty spaces between thoughts. Similarly, in Zen Buddhism, spirituality is the practice of direct experience, being present in every moment without attachment to dogma or ideology. Spirituality, when understood philosophically, is the realization that human experience is not just sensory perception, but a bridge between the seen and the unseen. The philosopher Plotinus spoke of the One, an infinite source from which all existence emanates. To know oneself spiritually is to recognize that you are not separate from this source, but an expression of it. Hence, spiritual awakening is the remembrance of your original nature, your eternal connection to the divine source. The Stoics, on the other hand, approach spirituality through rationality and virtue. Marcus Aurelius taught that the soul must remain undisturbed by external chaos, focusing instead on inner harmony. He believed that true spiritual strength comes from mastering one's own mind and finding peace regardless of circumstance. This resonates with the idea that spirituality is not an escape from reality, but a profound engagement with it. Understanding spirituality through philosophy means recognizing that every culture, every tradition, every ancient teaching points to the same truth, that the divine exists not in distant places or sacred objects, but within the human spirit. The journey to know oneself is the journey to know the universe. As the ancient Hermetic principle states, as above, so below, as within, so without. You are not a vessel waiting to be filled with wisdom from outside sources. You are the wellspring of wisdom itself. You are the consciousness experiencing itself, exploring the infinite through the finite, learning through every breath and heartbeat. When you awaken to this realization, life becomes more than survival or routine. It becomes a sacred exploration, an unfolding of potential, a dance between soul and matter. And in that dance, you are both the dancer and the dance, both the question and the answer. Embrace this truth. Let it reshape your perspective. You are not a seeker of light. You are the light seeking to know itself.